He made it. I tell you what, man, this is flattering stuff. I'm seeing on the back end around 1,000 people in here. It just tells me high school football and that community is excited. Guys, welcome. I'm Tarek Fattal, the Fattal Factor, a special edition. If you are new to this channel, all I ask is a click of a button. I think that's fair. Subscribe to the channel. This is something new I've been doing. I've been serving this community of high school sports for a little over a decade now. Been at the Daily News, Los Angeles Daily News, now with High School on SI. And if you follow me on Twitter and stuff like that, this is a new way of providing content for those thirsty for high school sports news. My co-host Aram Tolgian is in Las Vegas right now, and he'll join us later live from Vegas, and that'll be really, really fun. But look, today is about the postseason, right? Breath of fresh air. You know, who you gonna play? What division are you in? If you're an at-large, nervous about what's going on, you don't know if you're in or not. And I know with highschoolratings.com, there's projections and so on. And there are people out there that are pretty good at that. But I will tell you, I've looked at some of those projections, and there are things that aren't accurate. I have the information. That's just a fact. I have the brackets, and we will reveal those shortly. I don't want to misguide anybody. Look, I have the information, and I'm ready to do a show, and that will be revealed the second the clock hits 10. Okay, 9:59, bam, 10. You're going to see the information and all of it. Divisions 1 through 14, and that's where we'll start. And I'm not going to get too lost in the sauce as I do it. There are people out there, coaches, players, so on and so forth, that are in Division 8, 9, 10. We're not going to mull too much on each division. I'll make sure you see the matchups. I'll blow it up real big so everyone can see it. I appreciate everyone subscribing and getting excited about the channel. And look, for those that want to comment, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel. I want to keep it positive in here. Please, nothing in here negative or slander or anything like that. This is a fun day. And I just want to let you know again, we're gonna take this thing to 10 a.m. Okay, that's how this goes. So if you don't like that, you're welcome to go and try and find the brackets elsewhere, but you won't. That's what I'm trying to get at. Generally, the 10 a.m. release, you'll go online and maybe the brackets won't load, or sometimes the media members, the email doesn't come in super fast. So this is an opportunity where everyone wins, okay? I've got some information. I'm going to get it to you guaranteed. I'm looking at it right here, and you will be the first ones to know about it, so on and so forth. So I appreciate you guys coming on. If you've got questions in the chat, that's what that's for. You guys want to talk a little smack, and in a friendly nature, of course, go ahead and do that. But I appreciate everybody being in here. Clearly, this is something that you guys are enjoying. My phone's blowing up. Clearly, it's a big, big day. So this is a fun way to do. This is my third year doing it. The last 2 years, I've done it from the Southern Section YouTube channel. This year, I'm doing it from my own channel, and I'm thankful that CIF's allowing me to do that. But the only difference is I got to wait till 10 a.m. But I have the information, okay? And so I want to be fair. I don't want to misguide you guys and think that I'm going to reveal information before 10 o'clock. That's not what I'm doing, so I'm being upfront about that. If that disappoints you, I'm sorry. But the coaches and programs that know how I operate, I like to get out in front of stuff, and I like to stay within the boundaries. I don't like to ruffle too many feathers. That being said, I already know some of the juicy teams we may or may not see in the playoffs, given what's happened the last week here in week 10 with forfeits and ineligibilities when it comes to CIF violations, right? The two big stories this past week have been Norco and San Juan Hills, right? Norco 6-3 down to 1-9, but there's a path they get in at large. Will they get in? San Juan Hills, I believe, was 8-2 violations, 1-9. They're an at large now. Will they get in? And what you guys might not understand is that at-larges that were projected to be automatic qualifiers, like a San Juan Hills, for example, now they could take an at-large spot in the playoffs. That'll have a ripple effect for other at-large teams that are hoping to get in, because now a team that you thought would be an automatic qualifier might take an at-large spot. And there are some other circumstances where that ripples down into the other subsequent divisions when it comes to automatic qualifiers and how many you're taking and so on and so forth. We're not exactly sure how many at-large berths are in each division. It could vary, okay? And so that's where things get a little bit ambiguous if you're trying to project. And again, there are people out there that are really, really good at doing that. The other question I think a lot of people saw, like this past week, the Football Advisory Committee, unanimous decision to go 16 teams. So everyone's now thinking, oh man, could Division I be 16 teams? Last year, I believe it was 10, right? With a couple kind of play-in games per se. Or maybe there was just one play-in game. What'll happen? Will it be 8, right? If you go to highschoolratings.com, I'm not revealing any information. You know, those same 8 teams have been kind of meandering at the top for a long time. And there seems to be a clear divide there. Will it be 8 teams again? Generally is, but could it be different? Look, in basketball last year, as a total fair thing to bring up, it's been an 8-team open division playoff in basketball. Man, they felt with this new computer rankings and competitive equity, they felt like 10 was the appropriate number to take. And they took 10, guys. So anything could kind of happen any given year, depending on what the CIF deems to be competitive equity within the model of the computer rankings. So when you draw that number at 8 teams, 10 teams, 12 teams, 16 teams, it will ripple and impact the subsequent divisions below. We'll find out here in about 8 minutes. I'm going to try and look at the chat here, maybe try and give a couple shout outs. I appreciate it. Again, if you could like the channel, like the video, subscribe to the channel, that helps me. I really appreciate it. I got a goal of 1,500 subscribers. I'm at like 1,300 and some change. So I appreciate it. Kind of just looking through the chat. You know, someone brought up Long Beach Poly. Right? I can't off the top of my head remember if they're an automatic qualifier or they were trying to get an at-large, but that's the 562sports.org. They reported earlier this week on Beach Poly's like basically withdrawing themselves from the postseason. So that's another team out that might have been in the calculation. Bishop Montgomery, I mean, golly, talk about a story that dropped before the season even got its wheels up off the tarmac. Bishop Montgomery is a team that if you go to the highschoolratings.com, they're still there, having basically played almost no games all year long. So again, another team that was in the equation that shouldn't be and won't be, and could change some things up. So again, thank you for joining us. Again, right when we get to 10, I will flip over and we will start looking at these brackets. I appreciate all you guys for joining. I'm seeing on Twitter, more part coach Christian Dearborn has a great photo of him, what I believe eating a breakfast burrito, watching the show. Really, really appreciate that. He's also got the CIFSS.org channel website up. I get that. Click and refresh. Fred Robledo, thanks for the shout out, retweeting the live chat. San Clemente football seems to be enjoying a breakfast burrito this morning as well. Really appreciate that. Paul Shepard, thanks for the shout out. Coach Austin, I'm not sure what program you're with. Oh, sure, high school. There we go. Says he's locked in a classroom watching. So, guys, really appreciate this. And again, there are so many questions. I'm looking. A lot of people seem to want to know where Bishop Amott's going to lie. Northview. We got a Hesperia fan in here. Covina High School. Corona Del Mar. Yeah. Guys asking, what do we think about San Juan Hills? I'll kind of explain to you. There are people that are confused. Like, how does a 1-9 team... Let's not forget, man, Mr. Competitive Equity himself, Devah Thomas, St. Pius coach. I believe 1-9 last year, coach, get into the playoffs. Maybe 2-8, kind of leaving my mind right now, but certainly not a great record. But got in as an at-large and went and won a CIF championship. So it can happen, and basically it's just a matter of how many at-larges are available in that division. And if a team even below 500, if there is 2-3 at-large spots and 2 or 3 at-large eligible teams, they're all going to get in regardless of their 500 record. Now, I will tell you this, what makes things more challenging for a below 500 record team is despite their ranking, let's say you're 1-9 or even 4-6, right? You will get skipped in that at-large process. You will get skipped. And then they'll come back. If there's still a spot remaining to fill within the 16-team field, they'll come back and go to the 500 or below teams and fill. But anyone that's an at-large at 500 or better, they're going to get the nod first, regardless of their higher ranking. So being 500, an example of this that I know, because I live in the Valley, Notre Dame Sherman Oaks, huge victory last night over a very good Mission League team in Chaminade. Not last night, but on Friday night. So they were 4-5 heading into that game. They go 5-5. Huge win for their opportunity and maybe their possibility of getting an at-large berth, because now they don't have to wait to get selected because they're below 500. They're at 500 or better, so their ranking, probably high due to strength of schedule in the Mission League, is, could help them get in. That's an example. Same thing with San Juan Hills. Such a high rating that it's possible that at-large opportunity comes in. What could hurt them? Now being 1-9. Getting lots of tweets. Thank you so much for those that are tweeting and showing me how they're enjoying the stream. We're at 1,600 viewers. We're 4 minutes away here, guys, so apologize for the... Okay, I just got the green light. I can go. Here we go, guys. Division 1 first. Let's take a look. Just got the text. Here we go. Give me a second. Just change this up. And bam. All right, guys, here we go. We're off and running. Just got the green light from someone that knows what's going on. Okay, here we go. Division 1. No surprise here in Division 1, guys. St. John Bosco, number 1, going to take on Orange Lutheran. Sierra Canyon hosting Santa Margarita. Now, remember, 18 field, so they're not playing next week. Their first games are going to be the following week, what I believe is the 14th. So all these teams are going to get a bye. It's an 8-team division. Bosco hosting Orange Lutheran. Sierra Canyon. Oh, there we go. I forgot to press the button. Sorry. Small snafu there. My apologies. St. John Bosco, the number 1 seed. Orange Lutheran is hosting. Sierra Canyon, the 4 seed, hosting Santa Margarita. That's the top side of that bracket. And then as we go down, we got Mater Dei hosting Mission Viejo and Corona Centennial hosting Servite. Frankly, me even not putting up the bracket, not much there because it's not much of a surprise. My apologies. Don't worry, it'll catch up. Okay, we're gonna go to Division 2. These guys are freaking out because the screen's black. Hang on, guys, it's coming. All right, Division 2. You guys can see it now. Murrieta Valley gets the number 1 seed. They're gonna host Corona Del Mar. That's a nice matchup. Murrieta Valley and Corona Del Mar. Rancho Cucamonga hosting Tustin. Yorba Linda is going to travel to Los Alamitos, and there it is. San Juan Hills gets in. And not only do they get in, but they're hosting a game. Huge development there. So they get an at-large at 1-9, and they're going to host Downey, quarterback Oscar Rios, big-time quarterback. San Clemente hosting Beaumont, and Vista Murrieta hosting Damien. Crane Lutheran hosting Lusinger. Chaparral hosting Chaminade. Man, really good Division 2 field. I'll go through it one more time just so you guys can see it. Murrieta Valley, Corona Del Mar, Rancho Cucamonga, Tustin, Los Alamitos, Yorba Linda, San Juan Hills gets in. So no Norco yet. Maybe they're in Division 3. We don't know. Downey and San Juan Hills, San Clemente, big win over Los Alamitos this year, so they get that automatic qualifier out of the Alpha League. They're playing Beaumont. That should be a fun game. Vista Murrieta and Damien. Crane Lutheran, Lusinger, and Chaparral will host a tough Mission League team in Chaminade. Division 3, here we go. Bishop Aumont. Corey Minor takes a program that's 2-8 to 6-4 and an automatic berth out of the Mission League. They went 0-5 in the Mission League last year. Shout out to Corey Minor and the Lancers. They're going to host Murrieta Mesa. Pacific of Oxnard hosting Oak Hills. Notre Dame Sherman Oaks 5-5. Huge victory that probably got them in. I don't know for sure, but my guess is it probably got them in. We'll look at the other at-larges and compare. But Notre Dame Sherman Oaks hosting Laguna Beach. Chino Hills, an inspired year in the Baseline League, will host Miracosta. Dana Hills and Aquinas, both 9-1 teams. This is Division 3, guys. Valencia hosting Palos Verdes. Edison hosting Huntington Beach. And Inglewood gets in Oh, well, they're an automatic qualifier. Not that big of a deal. They finished 5-5. They're on the road to Capistrano Valley. So the 1 and 2 seed in Division 3 are Bishop Almont and Capo Valley. Okay, on to Division 4. Let me just triple check and make sure. Okay, yeah. Division 4, here we go. SGV is going to go nuts. It's going to explode, actually. Charter Oak, the number 1 seed, will host Muir. That's a big game right there. Both 9-1. So Charter Oak will host Muir. Bishop Diego to host San Jacinto. Cajon had a big year this year. I didn't think a lot of people expected much out of Cajon. I believe with a freshman quarterback, if I'm not mistaken. They go 8-2. They're going to take on Great Oak. Another great story of turnaround. Westlake goes 10-0 after an 0-10 season. Coach Rick Clausen. They're going to host Villa Park. That's a tough game. Villa Park is a tough-nosed football team, man. They are going to bring it to the Westlake Warriors, that's for sure. Oaks Christian gets in as an at-large. You know, the team I've covered for about a decade, Oaks Christian's a team that, you know, it's just probably one of the, I think it is, the worst regular season win total in school history at 4 wins. So they get in, and they're going to play a familiar opponent in St. Bonaventure. I believe Bonaventure won that game earlier this year. Long Beach Wilson to host Paraclete. Cathedral to host Western, and La Habra to host El Medina. Here we go. On to Division 5. I'll move a little bit quicker now. Torrance and Redondo Union. St. Paul, Etowanda. Northview will host Bonita, another SGV team, kind of SGV matchup. I know there's a lot of SGV fans in here. Loyola hosting Newbury Park. Newbury Park gets in. Obviously an automatic qualifier, but really the story here is Loyola gets in as an at-large at 4-6. Good first-round matchup here. Alyssa Nogel hosts Milliken out of the Moore League. La Serna and Lakewood, Thousand Oaks. And Rio Hondo Prep. Okay, Rio Hondo Prep 10-0 on the road. And I believe I'm in Division 5. I've kind of forgotten. Let's go up and check real quick. Oh, excuse me. Here we go. Let's see. Yes, we're still in Division 5. And then at the end of the bracket, we got Troy hosting Orange. Orange on the road to Troy. So there is Division 5. Division 6, Crespi, another big turnaround, 10-0. The Celts. You know, it's kind of one of the blue bloods of high school football. If you date back many, many years, it's good to see them playing good football. This is Division 6. They get the number 1 seed. They're hosting Roosevelt. Burbank and Lancaster. St. Pius gets in. So 4-6, St. Pius gets another at-large berth. Devaugh Thomas is probably pretty excited. Competitive equity plays for him well again. Upland, 2-8, gets in as an at-large. They'll host Los Altos, Orange Vista, El Toro, Agora, with really a comeback player of the year type in Gavin Gray at quarterback. 8-2, they'll host Summit. Ventura High will at 8-2 is hosting Salesian out of the Del Rey League, and Moore Park 9-1 will host ML King. Here we go. Next division, Palm Springs went 9-1. This is Division 7. Sorry, I've been losing track. Okay. Palm Springs and Claremont. Hart will host Mayfair. Serrano will host Barstow. West Covina will host La Cañada. Apple Valley to host North Torrance. Victor Valley at large will host Segestrom. I probably butchered that. Sergestrom. Sorry. Saugus to host Sure, and Calabasas gets in at 5-5 from the Conejo Coast League. They'll host El Segundo. Now on to Division 8. Palm Desert, the number 1 seed at 7-3, will host Marina. Elsinore to host Patriot out of the River Valley League at 9-1. La Mirada Beckman, Fullerton, La Quinta, Irvine and Temecula Valley, Quartz Hill and Calvary Chapel. That's I think of Santa Ana. Bria Linda and Mary Starr, St. Monica Prep, and St. Genevieve to finish out what I believe was just Division 8. Again, I keep losing track. Here we go. Division 9. Here we go. Silverado, the number 1 seed, will take on Ramona, Fillmore, and Cerritos. Hesperia and Moreno Valley, the Norte Vista and Vista del Lago Warren and Norco, and Warren out of the Gateway League at 3-7. So 3-7, but they got an automatic berth, so they were guaranteed to get in. They probably just didn't know where and who they were going to play. Valley Christian of what I believe is Cerrito, 7-3. Roland will host San Dimas, and Santiago of Corona will host Poly Riverside. Here we go. I think we're in Division 10 now. Yes, we are. Here we go. Village Christian, the Crusaders, out of the Ironwood League, get the #1 seed. They'll host Oak Park. Heritage Christian, 6-4, and at large, also out of the Ironwood League. New coach Ben McEnroe getting things going in a positive way over there. The Warriors will host in the first round. Brentwood to take on Portola, Santa Monica, and Pasadena. Pacifica of Garden Grove and El Rancho. Liberty and West Torrance. Redland East Valley against St. Margaret's, and Monrovia will host Hillcrest. That's the #2 seed in that division. Down to a Division 11. St. Anthony out of the Del Rey League will be the #1 seed, hosting South Pasadena, Chaffee, and Shadow Hills. Baldwin Park and Dominguez. Palmdale and Bell Gardens. Western Christian and Diamond Bar. Valley View and Maranatha. Yorupa Hills and Gar. And we got San Marcos, and El Monte. I think that was Division 11. Yep, we're on to Division 12. Yucca Valley, the #1 seed against Costa Mesa. Grace, formerly known as Grace Brethren, was only an 8-man team. They were 11-man powerhouse, 8-man team, I think, for 2 or 3 years, and now they're back to 11-man, and things are rolling with Coach Tom Coate. 7-3, the #1 team in the Citrus Coats League. Congrats to the Lancers. They are going to host Rialto. Citrus Hill will host Paris. Banning to host Coachella Valley out of the Desert Valley League. #1 team in the league at 4-5. Bellflower and Nogales. That'll be a fun game down in, I believe I'm still in Division 12. Bellflower and Nogales. Colton and Ganesha. Santa Paula and Ocean View. Desert Christian Academy and Arroyo Valley. That finishes Division 12. Here we go. Now on to Division 13. Couple more left here, guys. Saddleback and Pacific out of the Mountain Valley League. Saddleback, the #1 seed. Heritage and Santa Rosa Academy. Desert Bridge and Desert Hot Spring. Buena Park and Nordhoff. Kaiser and La Puente. Viewpoint gets an at-large out of the Gold Coast. They're going to host Fontana. Linfield Christian and Wilson of Hacienda Heights. Rancho Alamitos and Montebello gets in as an automatic qualifier at 4-6 out of the El Mont League. Here we go, the final division, Division 14, and I'll bring on Aram. I believe he's standing by from Vegas. Here we go. South El Monte to host Channel Islands. Indian Springs against Vasquez. Ontario and Bolsa Grande. A.B. Miller and San Jacinto Valley. This is Division 14, Alhambra and Bassett, Webb High School and Anaheim. Trinity Classical Academy, I believe, based in the Santa Clarita Valley. They're the #1 seed out of the Cottonwood League. They're going to take on Gabrielino. I think I said that right. And the last matchup of the playoffs, Pioneer to take on Godinez. Guys, that's it. I'm going to bring Aram on. We'll talk a little react. We won't be on for too much longer. Really appreciate you guys hanging tight. I know it's been, roughly 10 plus minutes since everything's been released. You can probably go see it online, but thanks for watching and thank you for subscribing. I'm going to just scroll back up to Division 1 here, and then I am going to see if Aram is there. Honestly, I was reading, no Simi Valley, those asking. Looks like Culver City. I don't remember seeing those schools in the playoffs, so they probably didn't make it. Let me see if my boy Aram is standing in the wings here. Yeah, he is. Okay, Aram, hang tight. Here we go. Aram, hang tight. I got you in now. 1 second, brother. Let's see. For some reason, this is not. Aram, I don't think I'm going to be able to get you on. Check your email. check your email. This is a little bit of a snafu here. Let me see if I can do this again here. There's a new link in your email. Try that. Aram's in Vegas. There's a little bit of a struggle. We tried to get him on the test, but for some reason, there's a little bit of technical difficulties. But look, my initial reaction is that the Division I field, in my opinion, after seeing St. John Bosco lose to Mater Dei, I think we're going to see a lot of parity at the top, and that's really, really important for high school football, especially given that these two teams have been in the CIF final for basically 10 straight years, other than 1 year in 2021 when Servite made the final. So to see Mater Dei have 2 losses, and then that same Mater Dei team beat St. John Bosco at home, when why disrespect Inglewood name like that when you saw their name? Man, I could have sworn I said their name, but if I didn't, I'm sorry. Point is I think the parity is that you look, Sierra Canyon, Santa Margarita have shown they are capable of making some noise in that Division I bracket, and I think that's something healthy for the Division I playoff. And then who always kind of gets put to the side, even myself, Corona Centennial beat Mater Dei. Now, Mater Dei did have a lot of turnovers in that game, but that is certainly a team that is absolutely capable of knocking off another juggernaut. And so the other thing that really changed the Division I playoff format was that loss. I believe if St. John Bosco would have won, Sierra Canyon might have stayed at 2, and you might have seen St. John Bosco and Mater Dei on the same side of the bracket. They would have probably played each other in the semifinal, but with Mater Dei winning, it put them on the other side. Potentially, to win a CIF championship at Division I. So that changes things significantly. Okay, I see Aram now. Let's see if this works. Okay, I got you, Aram. Give me 1 second here, brother. I got you now. Okay, Aram, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, yeah, I think you're on. I think everyone at home can see you. All right, man, you're in Vegas. That's kind of cool. Your initial reactions after watching the stream, anything you might want to add to maybe Division I or even some of the Bishop Almont and St. Gabriel Valley matchups that we now see for the first round?
Yeah, okay. First of all, good morning, everyone from the Punch and Blue Race and Sportsbook. Pretty crowded scene in here. I'll tilt my camera so you can see the odds board up there. Anyways, no line yet on Mater Dei and their chances to win B1. We'll see what those B1 lines are going to be here in a second. Anyways, first thing, Tarek, is that B1 came up as 8 teams. You can hear me okay, right?
Yes, you're good. You're good. Sorry, I'm just
okay, good.
phone.
Yeah,
you're good.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, so D1 came up as 8 teams. There was a lot of reporting that we're going to all 16 teams. Oh yeah, now I see. We didn't go to all 16 team divisions. So D1 comes up with 8 teams. I don't know if you covered this already, but that means that Sierra Canyon kind of took it in the shorts here, if you ask me. They're going to have to go through likely Mater Dei. This assumes everyone wins in 4 months. They would have to go through Mater Dei and St. John Bosco to win the D1 championship. We were kind of hoping to see them against one or the other in the championship, but that's not going to happen. D2 San Juan Hills gets in, Tarek. That was one of these programs that had issues toward the end of the season with forfeitures and stuff like that. I didn't hear Norco. So are we saying Norco's out, bro?
Yeah, I don't see Norco in stream saying they can't hear you, but I think I can hear you fine. I see the audio kicking up. It's okay. It's saying that it's breaking up. It could just be a connection issue. But yes, Norco is not in the. Aram's asking me if Norco's not in the playoffs, and they didn't get in. San Juan Hills did though, and I think that had everything to do with just how many at-large spots were in that bracket, man, and that's huge. But yeah, Norco is not in, to answer your question.
Yeah, I would like to know the distinction there, why one got in and the other. I'm sure it's probably a simple explanation, but I would like to know the distinction there, because I think they both would have been D2 or maybe even D3 in Northland's case, which has different sort of setups to it. Almont and D3 is a total shocker to me. I don't think anybody had Ahmad going D3, let alone the number one seed in D3 coming into this. I thought people thought maybe D4. Um, this is kind of high, bro. So that's interesting. Um, the dream SPV matchup that everyone wanted actually happened, Tarek. Mir and Charter Oak. Charter Oak gets the number one overall seed in D4, so that was very close. And Mir gets the 16 seed, so that was close too, right? I mean, in order for them to kind of just flop into 1 and 16, that meant they were on the verge of something else. D5, Newberry Park, like you said, gets in. That's good for them. They've been through a lot this season.
Yeah.
St. Paul is in there as well. I know Freddie had thought that St. Paul had a good shot to make some noise once they were in. I don't know if they're good enough to win D5, to be quite honest. Where did Tustin go? Mike's Tustin Tillers. That has to be D3.
Yeah, no, they're in D. They're actually in D2. They're playing at Rancho Cucamonga. And by the way, more people are saying that we're. I think the people that are complaining might have a connection problem with themselves, because a lot of people in the chat are like, "It's fine, we can hear you, you're good." So anyway, various mixed reviews. Just so you know, I can put you in these. Yes, Tustin is in Division 2, Aram, and they're playing at Rancho Cucamonga. So that'll be a heck of a game.
Yeah, and I know that was a game that they kind of didn't want to get because Rancho, when they fire their best game, is super, super dangerous. So I know that was a game that Tustin kind of didn't want to get. Good for them for making D2, but we'll see if they can actually win a championship or, excuse me, not a championship, just a first round game, which would be great for that program. D6, Upland gets in. If you're looking for one of those traditionally power programs, now I know Upland's been on a little bit of a slide, but we talk about this every year, like traditionally power program that can make a run when they get placed in the lower division. Maybe Upland's that. I don't know. I thought the rest of the divisions kind of played out about what we thought. So yeah, Rio Hondo Prep. That's also D5, right? Thousand Oaks. Rio Hondo Prep.
Yes, Division 5. Division 5. Yes.
Boy, I mean, they just keep moving up. You know, they just keep moving up, and we'll see if they're good enough to handle this. They've been up to every challenge so far, so we'll see about that one. I don't know what sort of stood out to you, dude.
Well, I tell you what. I like the points you brought up. I'm sorry, I'm kind of a little distracted with the chat, but to me, by the way, for those that are asking, when you go and look at the bracket, and I can put them back up here. Give me 1 second. If I put the brackets up, let's see here. I'll take the chat away. The brackets will. If you're an asterisk team in the bracket that you're seeing now, you're at home. So I know it can be a little ambiguous because generally in sports, the second team is the home team. To be like, Sierra Canyon at Santa Margarita. But in this format, the CIF produces the home team first. So just know if you're seeing a bracket, the top team is the host team with the asterisk. So just clarifying there for people that are wondering. Aram, I tell you what, man, I'm a little surprised to see San Juan Hills got in, but again, the higher up you are during that below 500 circumstance for at-larges, the better chance you have to get in. So I'm not completely surprised. The other one that I thought was kind of eerie and is worth sharing is like Jay Sarah. So Jay Sarah didn't get in, and they must have just known, not necessarily known, but felt confident that they weren't going to get in because obviously they let go of their coach, Victor Santa Cruz, yesterday. So they had an interim in line to coach that game. It kind of reminded me, and I know you're a college football guy, it kind of reminded me like when college football coaches get let go before a bowl game, and then like some interim coaches the game, the one game. But that's not even the case for Jay Sarah. So yeah, man, I think they knew they were out, but an interesting development. And again, we're in a season where it is win or go home. So yeah, I think initially we got to let this stew a little bit, but it sounds like a really good playoff, and especially at Division 1. What do you think about the parity in Division 1? And I'll have to let you go soon here because you do have some background noise going.
Yeah, I'm sorry. They have the sound going in here. Maybe I could have stayed up in my room and done this.
It's
Um,
okay. It's okay.
but hey, man, it's an NFL Sunday. Um, the parity, it is what it is. I mean, especially when you condense it down to 8 teams, it's going to be, balls to the wall from the word go. So, I feel like that modern day win the other night kind of kicks everyone into a different gear here. In
Yes.
thinking about, who can win it. It was kind of looking like a two-team race between Sierra Canyon and St. John Bosco. And now you start to wonder, is modern day the favorite? Are they, Tarek? I mean, they played everybody and their mother this season. They just posted the best win of the season. They've beaten Gorman, as well. Um, you know, the only team they really, I don't know. I mean, Santa Margarita, you would favor Modern Day in that matchup, in that rematch, I think. Um, I don't know. They might be the favorite, man.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I wrote a column yesterday talking about how the win gave them a clean slate. That's how it felt. That the win gave them an opportunity to now move
Right,
forward despite the two losses, right? It's like because the
right,
regular season was still intact and you still had to play games, for league, and you beat Bosco, and one win at the end of the year before the new season, the postseason, has almost washed away their sins. It was really kind of funny to me to see, and I wrote about it. Raul Lara gets this team in a huddle, and all the modern day fans. There's a photo of it in my story, and all the modern day fans are sticking around after the game, and he's got everyone on one knee, and the first thing he basically says is, look, man, everyone can say what they want about modern day and our year and our two losses, but this win, and he points up to the heavens and he goes, we got to thank God for this win. And he tells the kid to start praying. And something about that almost felt like confession, and I know that sounds really dramatic, but it really wiped away any challenges they have had, whether it be internal, external, on the field, whatever. It's like a whole new, fresh breath of air for this team. So I'm not mad at that take, Aaron. That maybe they are the most dangerous team in Division One, given that huge win that could propel them to another Division One championship.
right, right. I just again, I'm gonna have to break this down more, but I kind of feel like they're the favorite now. Slight, however it may be, but maybe this also ignites St. John Bosco. Um, it's a funner D1 than it has been in recent years. D2, the total grab bag again, bro. Total grab bags. Tough matchups right off the bat. I have a hard time believing that Ahmad is the number one ranked team in D3. Um,
Well, it just goes to
so
show you how close they were to being the bottom
yeah, go
seed
ahead.
in D2.
Yeah,
Like it's like a
yeah,
butt hair. It's like we're talking really
right.
small margins where they're not in Division 3. They're in Division 2 and on the road and
Right,
tough sledding.
right. All right, bro. I'm gonna dip.
Okay, okay. All right, Aaron. Hey, thanks for joining us, man. We'll talk more probably next week. This is our show for the week, and we want to thank everyone for joining. But Aaron, I'll let you go, man. Enjoy Vegas and drive safe home.
Thanks, guys. Yeah.
Tarek, bro, we've been friends for a long time. Make the call.
Okay, guys. Sorry if look, we thought it'd be we weren't exactly sure how smooth that would go, if at all. But Aram joining was he's part of the show, man. He's the co-host. We've been doing it for 10 weeks, so we felt like trying to get him in from Vegas might have been fun. Sounds like it was a little choppy, but we tried. Look, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here, guys. The brackets have been revealed. There's so much to chew on, right? Given the matchups, teams that didn't get in. Someone brought up Pat Hagan brings up a good point, man. No Gardena Sarah, and that is weird. That is a team that has been really good for more than 2 decades, and to see them finish last in the Mission League, and that's right, they finished last. They were a one-win team in league. Excuse me, and their loss was to Loyola. So I believe them and Loyola finished 1-4 in the Mission, but in the final standings, they're last because Loyola beat them. So there's kind of a tie break there between fifth and sixth place. So very odd to see a team like Sarah Gardena have a rough year, last in the league, and then not make the playoffs. So, guys, I appreciate everybody for joining. I mean, gosh, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Something different, something fun. It wasn't perfect. It never is. But the show must go on. We will not have a show tomorrow night. This was it. So no show Monday night on FATTAL Factor. We will be back. Let me check my calendar. We will be back on Monday, November 10th. After the first round of the playoffs, so much to break down. Hey, maybe there's more drama. I don't know. But for right now, thank you for watching. If you haven't, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. That helps me. And look, there's a donation button there if you feel so inclined. No pressure. If you like today's entertainment, you like the content, you want this stream to be a little better, there are elements that can help by supporting me. I make it a little better in so many different ways. No pressure. At the very least, like, subscribe to the channel. That helps me again. Thank you so much. I'm Tarek Fattal. Thanks for watching FATTAL Factor. And I will say this. And I always end my shows this way. And that is to take the job seriously, but don't take yourself too seriously. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your Sunday. And good congratulations and good luck to all the teams that made the playoffs.